Welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, your trusted source for expert guidance on aging safely and independently. Whether you're a caregiver, a family member, or a senior looking to stay secure at home and beyond, we've got you covered. From fall prevention and home modifications to financial safety and scam awareness, we provide practical tips to help you or your loved ones live with confidence. Tune in and empower yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate the challenges of aging. Let's make safety simple.
Welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. I'm your host, Robin Schultz, and today we're digging into a topic that's close to my heart and probably close to your backyard, balcony, or even your kitchen windowsill. That's right, we're talking about senior-friendly garden tips, how to make gardening accessible, safe, and downright delightful for seniors. Whether you're a lifelong gardener or just getting your hands dirty for the first time, this episode is packed with practical advice, inspiring ideas, and a few laughs along the way. So grab your sun hat, pour a glass of iced tea, and let's grow something together. So let's start with a question. Why garden at all? For many people, gardening is more than a hobby. It's a source of joy, purpose, and connection with nature. But did you know that gardening offers a bouquet of health benefits for seniors? There's physical exercise. From gentle stretching to light digging, gardening keeps you moving. It's exercise disguised as fun, and there's no gym membership required. It also gives you a vitamin D boost. Spending time outdoors helps your body produce vitamin D, which is essential for bone health and immunity. And then there's mental stimulation. Planning and planting and nurturing a garden can sharpen the mind and lift the spirits. There's nothing like watching something you planted grow and thrive. And then there's the nutritious harvest. If you grow fruits, veggies, or herbs, you get to enjoy fresh, homegrown produce, which is often tastier and healthier than store-bought options. And there's a social connection. Gardening can be a shared activity with friends, family, or neighbors. Community gardens and garden clubs are great ways to meet people and exchange tips. But let's be honest, traditional gardening can be tough on the knees, the back, and the hands. And that's why today's episode is all about making gardening easier, safer, and more enjoyable for seniors. So our first section is about design. The secret to a senior-friendly garden is accessibility and ease. Here's how to create a space that works for you, not the other way around. Raised beds and container gardening are what we're going to talk about in this section, because bending and kneeling can be hard on the joints. Raised garden beds are a game changer, though. They bring the soil up to a level that's at a comfortable height, and they make planting, weeding, and harvesting much easier. You can even build them at waist or wheelchair height. Containers are another fantastic option for gardening. Pots, troughs, and even window boxes can turn any patio or balcony into a lush oasis. And don't forget vertical gardening. Using trellises, wall planters, or hanging baskets that are placed at reachable heights will allow plants to grow up instead of out, and this saves space and reduces bending. How about safe and accessible pathways? Imagine this. You're carrying a watering can, admiring your blooming roses, and suddenly, oops, you trip on an uneven path. No thanks. So make sure that garden paths are wide, flat, and non-slip. 4 feet wide is ideal for walkers and wheelchairs. Also, use pavers or fine gravel instead of chunky wood chips or river rocks, which can be unstable. Add handrails or sturdy edges where needed, especially near steps and slopes. And consider solar-powered or low-voltage lighting to illuminate paths for evening strolls. And then there's rest areas and shade. Gardening should be a pleasure, not a marathon. Place comfortable benches or chairs in shady spots so you can rest, admire your handiwork, or enjoy a cup of tea. Umbrellas and pergolas can provide extra shade and make the garden inviting all day long. In the next section, we're going to talk about choosing the right plants. The best senior-friendly gardens are beautiful, productive, and low maintenance. So let's talk about low maintenance favorites. For vegetables, we like onions, shallots, broad beans, carrots, spinach, and chard. They're all easy to grow and require little fuss. Then there are herbs. Rosemary, sage, chives, and thyme are hardy, perennial, and keep giving year-round. And then there's perennials. Rhubarb, globe artichoke, chamomile, and gooseberries come back every year, so you can plant them once and enjoy them for seasons to come. And how about succulents? Aloe, jade plant, and sedum are drought-tolerant and pest-resistant, which makes them perfect for forgetful waterers. Now let's talk about sensory gardens. Because gardens can delight all the senses, this can be especially meaningful for seniors with dementia or sensory impairments. So for smell and fragrance, put in sweet peas or roses. They can trigger fond memories. For touch, try planting lamb's ear, Bergenia leaves, and ornamental grasses because they offer interesting textures. For taste, there are strawberries, blueberries, edible flowers, and herbs that add flavor to your garden and to your meals. For sound, you can plant grasses or seed heads like love in a mist. They can create a soothing, rustling sound and attract birds and pollinators. Now also you want to make sure that you choose plants that are suited to your local climate. Native species are often more resilient and require less watering and care. Drought-tolerant varieties like caladiums and lilac sage are also great choices. So now let's move on to tools and gadgets. You wouldn't use a butter knife to chop down a tree, right? Well, just like that, the right tools in the garden make all the difference, especially for a senior. So you want ergonomic and lightweight tools, like long-handled spades, forks, and secateurs. These reduce the need to bend or stretch. Also, you want lightweight materials, like aluminum or plastic tools, because they're easier to handle than heavy steel ones. You want padded handles to be gentler on arthritic hands and provide a better grip. And you want to use kneelers and benches to protect your knees, and benches with handles can help you get up and down safely. How about watering solutions? You want to use a lightweight mobile hose cart, and that will help with easy watering, or drip irrigation systems, which will automate watering for your most precious plants and keep you from having to lug heavy watering cans. And also use mulch, because a thick layer of mulch keeps soil moist and reduces the need for frequent watering. Now let's think about birds too, because bird watching is a relaxing way to enjoy your garden. So you might consider setting up bird feeders where you can easily refill them and enjoy the show, especially in the winter. All right, in our next section, we're going to talk about safety first and gardening without the ouch. So gardening is fun until it isn't. So you want to prevent injuries. Don't overdo it. Avoid marathon gardening sessions. Break tasks into manageable chunks and rotate activities to avoid repetitive strain. Also, warm up before you garden. Gentle stretches before you start can help prevent back and joint pain. And you want to lift safely by bending at the knees, not at the waist. If something's too heavy, ask for help. Also, protect your hands and skin. Always wear gloves to guard against bug bites and cuts and skin irritants. Leather gloves are best for working with thorny plants. Use shovels and trowels instead of your hands for digging around hidden roots because hidden roots and glass can cause nasty injuries. And even minor cuts can lead to infections, so make sure you keep your tetanus vaccinations up to date and you treat wounds promptly. How about sun and heat protection? Well, you want to work in the morning or the late afternoon and avoid the midday sun. You also want to wear a hat and sunscreen to protect yourself from harmful UV rays. Be sure to stay hydrated by keeping water or juice handy and take sips often. And then dress smart by wearing lightweight, long-sleeve clothes which protect against sun and scratches. As far as safe storage and security, you want to be sure to store your tools safely by keeping sharp and heavy tools out of walkways and returning them to a shed or storage box after use. Also, remember to secure gates and fences. If memory loss is an issue, make sure your garden is secure to prevent a person who has dementia that lives in your household from wandering. Same thing with pets. Alright, so maybe you don't have a sprawling backyard. Maybe standing or walking is difficult for you, but gardening is still for you. You can do tabletop and indoor gardening with terrariums by creating a miniature garden in a glass jar or a fish tank. You can grow herbs, succulents, and small flowers right in your kitchen in windowsill pots. And you can use maintenance-free terrariums that need minimal care and bring greenery indoors. Also, you can look at community and shared gardens. If you have garden sharing and you have more space than you can manage, you can invite a neighbor to help out with your garden in exchange for sharing the harvest. And there's community gardens where many towns have shared plots where you can garden alongside each other. There's also virtual gardening. Even if you can't get outside, watching gardening shows or listening to gardening podcasts can help keep you connected to gardens in general. So closing thoughts, let's wrap up with a few words of encouragement. Gardening is about the growth of plants, of joy, and ourselves. Whether you're nurturing a single tomato plant or a jungle full of flowers, every garden is a testament to patience and hope. As one seasoned gardener once said, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. So no matter your age or ability, there's a garden out there waiting for you. Remember to start small, listen to your body, and don't be afraid to ask for help. The most beautiful gardens are grown with love and maybe a little help from your friends or a good podcast episode. So thanks very much for joining me on this episode of the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. If you enjoyed today's tips, please subscribe to our podcast and share the episode with a friend. And let us know your favorite gardening stories or hacks. Until next time, happy gardening and may your thumbs always be green. Take care. Bye.
That's it for today's episode of the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, helping you and your loved ones stay safe, independent, and informed. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with others who could benefit. For more expert tips and resources, visit seniorsafetyadvice.com. And remember, staying safe starts with staying informed. Until next time, take care and stay safe.